you look at some stories. I'll bring up a Twitter story, the Mark
Okay,
whistleblower story.
I
And the Mark
guess I'm
whistleblower story didn't
live.
get traction because it
Let's
wasn't
reduce this
clearly on
volume here.
political side A or political side B.
I'm listening to George Hotz. Just good vibes.
The world is a nuanced
Um,
and complicated place.
so I'm doing
And you don't want to see it
I'm
that
doing
way.
included on starting point. I think it's a tattoo machine.
Okay, that's right.
Um,
We should chew people out.
it's been a minute,
No, it's
so
maybe the only way to deal with that.
under this wrong pass. Great, wrong pass again.
What the fuck
There
was
you go.
that? List index out of range?
So go here, then start the machine.
That really
Um,
paused it?
go.
Oh, if not CUDA and not metal, that should work. Can I not import or something?
Want included.
I
Spawn
did
this
do
up.
that, right? Wait, what? No, I broke it into a much more serious way. Oh, I didn't mean to put that there. I meant to put that in runtimes. Also, I don't understand why. Oh, I guess because it doesn't have a buffer. I guess, okay, that's fine. My bad.
It's interesting that like when I stream live, it uses more of my CPU. That's really interesting.
Pretty much. Understood.
Or no, it's actually cause
C backend.
I'm watching a YouTube video at the
Um,
same time. I guess that's why. But you have the IP here, so I can copy the port conscript here, then slap the IP there, and you see only one port is open. So I already did the scan. Um, where is it? There we go. So port 80 Apache 2.4.29, and can already see a URI here pointing to home.php. The file parameter though looks really interesting because I'd try like LFI here. So the other thing is like for this machine, there are also like a few UDP ports. Some aren't useful though, but there's this TFTP
where is nothing?
port open on port 69, a UDP port. So
We'll have
um,
to deal with
TFTP is
the
like
way he left just because of
a
features.
trivial
But
version of FTP, meaning it
what?
has lesser features. Actually, T stands for trivial. So
Hmm.
um,
Been subbed for 5 months.
it's just FTP with lesser
Attempting
features.
manual.
So you can just get files, you know, push files on, yeah, pretty much.
Like, is it a help
So
maybe or not?
first thing we look at is the web server, and I guess it will just take me there. And since the IP though,
There is no limit to where a
so
human will get shot in the head. Like that's the only way to deal with it, man. That's just the
yeah,
only
so
way
you
to
can
deal with it.
see it's pointing to home.php. Most of the time this isn't the setup. You'd expect like it says
Serial buffer.
page equals to home, and why it's most of the time it's like this cause they normally just append .php to the parameter. So like if it's like the about us page,
Anyway,
which
C
doesn't
type,
seem to work,
libreoffice
unfortunately,
C type.
it would be like page equals to about, right?
Let's
Because
just
it's
type
appending
C
.php, so you don't have to
and copy it.
include the file name there. And yes, it's a better way of doing it, but not really.
To
Um,
CPU. So that's included.
so let's see. If you're gonna try
Um,
Lify, could do like file equals to, go back, go back, go back. Let's see, plus WD.
CL
Ooh, you get the
Azure
contents of the password file. Cool.
products.shape.
I'm gonna copy this
A.shape.
and
Oh, well, we don't
have
actually
it
have the
here.
copy.
Then the next thing we'll do is just check
This is new
for
box, right?
possible users on the box. So just like grabbing sh and then dollar, meaning we want to check all the lines that end with sh, meaning that's likely been bash or been sh. Yeah, meaning most likely the user has a home
This
directory,
is making a copy.
Yeah, so there's root and there's Mike. Okay, cool.
CPU doesn't work properly, so
So what are the chances that I could read
copy
Mike's
all to
SSH
SSH.
key? I do like home Mike
That looks
dot
good.
SSH ID RSA,
And now for copy in.
and I get nothing back. Let me check something here real quick. I actually think everything is okay. Cool. Yeah, we get nothing back. So, okay,
CL
cool. Could we like access actually the other thing I want to try to do is maybe we can just do like etc
can
plus.pd.
I not? And
That works too. So I want to check if I could access the Apache logs.
zeros.
So var log
The size gonna be.
Apache2 access.log.
Cannot interpret three as a data type.
No, right? I'm guessing there could be like another name for this. Maybe like this could be HTTPD or something, but it's not there, right? So
Probably shouldn't use that.
what else would I do here? So I guess we can do
Autocomplete.
like a directory brute force, right? So I'll copy this and I'll do the enum. I guess I only need the IP, so
Congratulations, you got a timeout.
I'll do this
Um,
and
and
then
if I see you talk again,
replace
I'm gonna
discovery of
spit in your ear next.
content, small words, and I'll do .php just cause we saw
And
PHP
that's it. And
files.
that's just in the new
Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it.
fascist
So
dictatorial
let's see
regime. If the regime has
what
to
we
think
get
about you,
back.
you're gonna bullet in the head,
There's
bro. It's just the
home.php,
truth.
index.php,
It's the
images,
only way to deal with this
admin
motherfucker.
index. Interesting.
Or
Wait, what
with everybody accepting Jesus Christ into their heart.
is Faf giving me
It's the
like
only
false
bullet.
positives?
Oh, good.
Because what the heck?
Cool.
Admin index. Is it? It's not even a thing, is it? Don't think it's a thing. So I'm gonna
No,
get rid of this idea here
what
and
do you
then
think?
just
What do you
do it like
mean?
that.
One day
See what
you're
we
in
get back.
Stalin's inner circle, the next day you're in Gulag in Siberia, and be happy you didn't get a bullet in your head.
Oh, let's see, let's see.
Okay. I kind of hate that we use
Could be a
name.
file that
Name should
it's gonna pop
we should
here.
just remove name forever. Name is stupid. Like,
No, that's not it.
um,
You're getting warmer. Give it a sec.
named temporary file.
Actually, is there like robots or
Okay,
text there?
clang to clang. Can I clang that?
No,
Q or X is required. Oh, well, I've seen this before. That's actually not bad. XC.
still getting this
Yeah.
file.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Am I doing the fuzzing right?
Can I
Cause
clang to standard out? Let's
just
see if
give it
this
a
is gonna
sec.
clang.
Starting to doubt myself at this point.
Check output. So yeah, bro. Someone, you know, you can tell this bro. I'm just writing it on Discord. Writing on Twitch. Writing C backend on Twitch.
Okay,
Uh,
I'm not seeing this
we're gonna have to
file,
time him out
so
more. It was a test. If he
we can
talked,
try
then we
this.
could ban him. Right? Because
Instead
you
of
know,
doing it like
half of
this, we could
of
try
being
to
all powerful
use
on a
the
regime is you
abuse
use
the
the
LFI
right
and see the
to
files that
referendum
are in the current
exercise your
directory, right?
power.
So
See, and this is
see,
really if you want a population to fall in line. You see, look,
well,
if you exercise
so I'll do it
power
like
in a
this,
limited,
and I'll put the
restrained
fuzz here
ways,
instead.
then like
I'll
you'll get a
have
lot of people who try to like skirt the rules, right? And like look at what we see in America today,
more
right? We got all these
words,
companies who are like, well, you see,
AC,
technically,
what
I'm
else?
not taxable in that jurisdiction because I've moved
I'll
money.
just
But if you
add
just
C here,
arbitrarily enforce the rules and every once in a
see what
while, like,
happens.
take a wrecking ball and smash Google's headquarters, like, you know what? Fuck you. You're still taxed in
Yes, it's
Ireland.
getting
Maybe you're
warmer.
not. I don't really
It's
care. But
getting
just took a
warmer
wrecking
now.
ball to your headquarters. That's right. That's right. Because
So
sometimes you
let's
just
see.
got to do that, right? But see, the trick is the guy with the wrecking ball needs to be infallible because if the guy with the wrecking ball sucks and he starts smashing things that people like Legoland, then or remember the time that the mayor of LA dumped sand into a skate park? You see, that's what you can't have. You can't have once the wrecking ball
There we go.
starts smashing
So
things that
there's
people
a
like,
.ht
not things that
password
don't like.
file
Like imagine
that's
someone right now took a
it's
big
in the
leap
current directory,
forward
right?
as
So
a
like
congressman buying
if we
stocks.
check that out,
Everyone in
um,
America would be like, "This is fucking amazing!
we
Wow,
get
we
some
love this
creds, right?
guy." But
So Mike
unfortunately,
and
the
Sheffield
Congress owns the
19.
wrecking ball, and it's not
So
even very good
I put this here,
wrecking ball. So,
and I'm curious why
yeah,
Five couldn't find the HT password file. Oh, it says forbidden. Ah, yes, yes,
maybe
yes.
it is. But I think,
Makes
or
sense, makes
who
sense.
thinks we're at the point?
So using the
Who's ready?
LFI, you can read the file instead,
Who's ready to
instead of trying to access this file
literally?
from the web
It's just
root.
like
Makes
can't
sense.
get worse than this.
Um, so we have creds here, possibly SSH creds, but we don't have SSH open, if you remember.
On this, like we just said all this
Um,
time.
we just have 4080. But then
Gosh, that's
recall
terrible code we wrote.
that we have TFTP as a UDP port
Maybe
running, yeah.
fixed.
So we could access this TFTP server and then put a file and possibly access it on the web server. But we'll have to first confirm that the TFTP server points to the web root. So let's see by just typing TFTP and the IP address.
Is that in there though?
Um, is there a way to list files here, by the way?
Oh, we do have to call it CL. Well, that's
I
terrible.
I doubt it. You can't list files. Again, TFTP is just a minimal version of FTP. So I guess we could create a file
Now we just
and
need a
hope for the
GID.
best.
I'm not
So
really sure what we're gonna do with the
system
GID.
request
There's a bunch of different ways we could do this.
CMD like this. I could put
The way metal.php might be
rc.php, right?
best.
Okay. So if we go here and try to
Oh, maybe
access
this one
rc.php,
doesn't work.
we don't get it, right? But then maybe TFTP has its own specific directory, so maybe we could do TFTP directory or something. And we get that it's either in varlib TFTP boot or
Okay,
I think this is
maybe we can
server TFTP.
maybe we try
Okay,
both.
we could try this. So we could try now using the LFI to access this directory and see if we can access the file we just uploaded. Maybe the file is pushed to this directory, right? So I could do rce.php
Okay,
and I get a
yeah,
blank
I'll
page, which
guess
is good.
that
So I do
something's
ncmd equals
PHP.
id,
Does someone want
I
to
get
refactor this
code
and make it like an
execution, and now
actual
from here I can get a shell.
class with
Awesome.
inheritance and shit?
So let's
This
see whether,
garbage.
so I'm
This
guessing
probably
if
should
we
be
try
fixed
access it from
though.
here, it won't work, because there's no way it's being uploaded to more
Introduce
than one
remove
directory.
main
But we could still try this.
factor out
Yeah, yeah, it's just,
admin
it's
and
picking this one.
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess this one is like a secondary
This is
directory,
the
if at all
runtime
this
should be
isn't
much
there.
more generic. None of this stuff has
Um,
to be here because none of this is the
so
boilerplate that you're copying. Okay.
yeah, so again,
If I
there's
were
two
to
ways of
run,
doing
okay,
this.
let's
So there's
what would
this,
I put our
let me
GID
just get it
as?
from here.
If
Is this technique
greater equal to 4,
which you could use to abuse
that should also
LFI
be
to RCE. And I hate when that happens. Okay.
outside
So there's this CTF player called Locknob, and he
outside
developed this technique to. Oh man, this page looks really bad.
equals 4.
Why though? Why?
So this is the program we are
Yeah,
compiling.
that looks much better.
You can see it looks like
So
absolutely
basically,
beautiful. C
he read
uh,
um, a post by Jinville
uh,
and discovered that he could write bits of data by
immediately
using
found
different
this. What
conversions.
do I have? I have a
So
stupid piece of
basically,
metal somewhere.
if you look at this, yeah,
This.
so for this, these are the only
Um,
characters he wanted to push to the page, yeah,
two
which
factor
is this
authentication.
basic
String args.
PHP payload, which is actually this one, just basically for encoded.
This.
So basically, the idea here is
Stupid piece of metal. This is called the
um,
CL
if
program
you have
extra
this
args.
um, conversion
It
payload
forces
here,
you to make things
you can actually
bigger when you
push like bits of characters
okay, so we're gonna make
um
a
to
stick
the web server. In this case, R.
put that in
You can actually try it
here as
out.
well. CUDA has no
So
extra args
um
and
the
OpenCL
first weird thing is if you do like echo file get contents and you do like PHP
they don't have
AC,
extra args.
it
Clang doesn't have
says,
extra args
invalid
too.
URL,
The
right?
extra args are
Operation
going to
failed in
be
PHP,
int
But if you do like temp,
63 and int
it doesn't
min. Oh, you want
complain.
to
You
see?
do
Okay,
temp, you know.
great.
So
Okay.
temp is like temp just works according to how IPsec put it. It just works.
Who
So
cares?
the way I like to
Let me
understand
refresh
this is
this.
that it's trying to like it creates a temporary
Clang
space,
backend.
some sort of temporary
Start
space actually
code.
where you can write stuff to.
People are gonna be like, dude, you wrote this
So
so fast. I
the
can't
idea
believe
here
you're
is
gonna charge
simple.
$2,500 for that, bro. Like,
If
just
we pick,
oh
let's see.
man.
So I have to, let me
Definition
see,
of
let me see.
UCL image from
It's
what?
writing this backwards and then taking the conversion, then adding decode and encode and this one. So basically, if I copy this, I do PHP filter and then the filters, yeah, and the filters being this. So if I want to push, let's say 0 or let's do F.
Yeah, it's just
If I want to push this, I'll do it like this
that's it. I'm
and
gonna have to
then
sell the Rolls Royce,
copy
guys. I'm
this.
gonna have to sell the Rolls Royce. You know.
I have to add
And then we have this stupid
this
crap.
here
Do I have to import? I have to import
and then
list.
copy this as
What
well.
do I need to do? Colon. See, this is something that should
Just
just be in
get
a
rid of
super
the
class.
double quotes. It's not going all the way. Why?
This
Oh,
shouldn't even be here. This should be
what's
in a super
happening?
class, but I'm not gonna do it now because I'm lazy.
Okay, that was weird. Let's do that
In
again.
CL image
So I
already
call file
define,
get
possibly define
contents
import, but it's not because it's in the other side of
and
the
we
else.
do
I don't understand.
PHP filter.
No, it's in the other side of the
Um,
else. I don't understand.
some reason PHP doesn't allow me to
Whoa.
like edit stuff, but okay. So I need to be very careful with what I'm typing. So we add the filters here. We want to push F. So we copy
Okay.
this and hopefully
Okay. Clang backend. Let's go.
add
All right. Now you're
this.
complaining about something stupid because what's I never remember the argument. What is it? L?
Okay,
L's
and
or Y?
then add
Shared?
on to this
Dash shared. I think it's dash shared.
and then
Shared.
add on to this and then add on to this.
CL program is not callable.
I
Why is
guess
it
this
callable?
looks good.
Okay,
So
we
let's
built
see,
it,
no URL
but
source specified in PHP.
wrote something called
I guess we need to do this
index.php.
from
Oh my
like
god, we don't need that.
a web server. So I could do like index.php and then I'll do like include get
Fine.
stuff or whatever.
Where's hash? Where do I use hash?
I guess that's
I don't have to
okay.
have this code somewhere. I should probably put it in helpers.
Console and then start a PHP server here.
Oh.
Um, pick my
Encode.
IP. This
So we'll just say fn equals temp
about
slash
8,000.
clang underscore.
So I need to do.
Oh, and we have to give it a stupid.
Was it? No, it was stuff, right? Stuff equals to. And I can read files, I guess, from my own
Colon
from
x.
my own
Okay,
machine.
that's
So
annoying.
basically, the idea here is if I do PHP filter,
Yeah, of course it's an OpenCL. Okay, great.
give me 1 sec.
This is not going to work on Windows. Okay. fn equals clang. Let's go dilib else so. I probably wrote that right. We're not actually going to test it. No, we will, because we'll have a test for the Clang backend. Oh, yes, we can. Oh, that's nice. We can test it. Okay. Dash O FN. Okay. Okay, great. Look, we got a great Clang dilib. Okay. My top 5 are Dylon,
Okay, so
Dylon,
where were we?
Dylon,
We
Dylon,
want to
and
push
that.
F
We
to
gotta load
the
the food
page,
library.
yeah.
Okay, how do we load a library? This is
So
Dylon.
let's see.
Oh,
So we need this.
let's go for the second steal. No, I'll be back in a
Oh
minute.
no! Let's copy this. Copy it back.
C types load
Awesome.
library.
So now I need to pick this and then
DLL.
pick this. So the essence of this ones is to get rid of some characters, I guess.
Either the load library
Um,
method should be used, or we can
so we'll
use
do
the
that and then I'll add on to this. Yeah,
ctypes.cdll fn
I guess
self.lib
that looks okay.
print self.lib. I wish we didn't have to
Not
actually have
really.
to write it to
I
diff.
don't see anything. I probably can't see the bytes that are being printed on top. Or am I doing this wrong? Let me see. Cause I'm seeing like uh
Well, actually, at least I can do this. If os
when
dot
so
add
it's doing
exists,
oh the filters
os
plus
add
this. Okay,
file
cool.
exists.
Yeah, that should work.
You'd think after years of using Python,
I
I'd
need to
actually know
specify
this,
the
but
file
it's
to
actually because I'm a
use.
junior engineer
So if I
that I don't
do
know this. And if I were a senior
resource
engineer
equals
with
to
many
PHP
years of
10,
distributed system experience, then
you can see some
I
stuff
would have
printed, but then I don't get my
known
F
what's
though. Why
happening.
don't I get my F?
Psych, I lied.
Let me try this
Who
here.
remembers that shit? If you do remember that shit, you're wasting valuable brain space,
Although now I need to be
Wasn't Sherlock
really
Holmes was like anything
like
unrelated to the
content
case? Uh, no,
PHP
he doesn't. He
filter.
doesn't remember.
Copy this.
We have to get the. Oh, we have to get the name. Name. Is that not gonna work?
I don't see my F though.
Program.
Where's my F? My F isn't there. So let's try something else.
Said
Let's try R.
has no attribute name. Oh, we have to save
So
that.
the reason I had to add this
That's
again is
stupid.
cause remember I looked at it as a temporary space um
Okay.
where these
Great.
characters are being added onto,
You have
yeah.
the fun.
So
Well, no, you can know it without googling. I'm just saying
that is the
that's
reason I
valuable brain
needed that.
space that you could be
If
devoted
I don't
to,
have it, then it
knowing
doesn't
that
print anything, as we
every
saw earlier.
cast on Love Island.
So
Right? That's
I guess this
something
looks
competent to know.
good.
Let's see what's in args. Args.
So you see our R is here.
Args. Oh
Is it
shit! This is
pushing
all wrong.
the
We gotta
characters
do a
like to the
D.
right or to
Shit.
the left? Because it should be the left.
Uh.
Um, but yeah, that's the basic
Oh.
idea. Let's try some other character like W or something. So we copy
This is
this.
wrong.
Um, we'll see whether it's
We have to
written
like add a helper
to this.
function called launcher that
This is
calls
really
that
weird.
function.
Yeah, I see W actually, but if you highlight, yeah,
Fine.
I still see
Fine.
W.
Fine. 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 Fine.
So
Oh, that's
that's the basic
disappointing.
idea. We're trying to push
Oh
characters
man, who else
um
hates C?
to the page such that we can now push an entire PHP code
So we need to like
and then it
wrap it.
can get executed. Yeah.
I guess I could do like
It's the same idea of like when you like write PHP code to the user
we call
agent
the function
and
way too
then
many times.
execute
That's
the
just
PHP
terrible.
code
You
by
see the problem
accessing
here?
the
So the
Apache log
PID
file.
means that we have to
It's
like
the same
write
thing,
all the
only
combinations
that
of
here
the
we're
PID.
creating some sort of space and then pushing
But
characters on top of it. So um
we can do this by writing another function.
um let me
We can
see.
do this by
I was looking at
injecting the loops
OBS
here
Studio saying I have
after we
97
get to
dropped
the
frames.
PID.
That's not good, but anyway. So there's this tool called
Maybe that's the
PP
best idea.
filter
Okay.
chain generator.
This one doesn't get an extra args either. Thanks,
So the
args.
only difference between by it's actually by synaptive. So the only difference between the Python script here and Locknop's Python script is that um, this player only needed these characters to be pushed so that he can append his PHP code and then it's not really executing,
Add
it's actually
wrapper
reading a
function.
file.
Oh, it'll need multi-threading.
So yeah, that was the basic idea. So for this tool now, it has like all the characters. You see, like from zero
Fine.
to
Fine.
equals. So
Fine.
and the reason why you don't
Fine.
see any other characters is because it's trying to work with base
Right.
64
If
characters.
I just stick
So
it
you
like
wouldn't find any
this,
other character,
is it?
in the base 64 character set. So that is why we only have zero. I mean, the
I
digits,
think I'm really
small
writing
case,
multi-threading.
and
This is not going to have
caps.
performance. Someone's going to write
Um,
multi-threading, and it's going to be like
yeah,
50 lines in
that's
a whole
uh,
row. There's no
that's
way I'm
pretty
printing
much
this
it.
shit.
I actually don't see an A in
Uh,
caps. Is there an A? Yeah, there is. Okay, cool.
let's think about this for a minute.
So we can use this to get code execution. Yeah. So
Okay, first off, this max output shape should actually be
what I'll do is I'll do opt filter. There we go. Chain. My autocomplete
I don't know.
just
No,
spoiled
I'm going to
everything.
write it
But
like that.
anyway,
It's more portable.
I'm going to use the same payload that he used, only that I'm using request and not get. Where is it?
Threading?
I think
I
it's
don't care
here.
about threading.
This. So the only thing I've changed
This is
here
meant for
is
embedded systems.
request. And I know you've realized that
From
there isn't PHP. Um, we're not doing like PHP system like that. So this is a really shorter way of
if
writing such a payload.
yes.
So we've replaced system with backticks. So remember backticks. I'm not sure whether PHP and Bash are related, but we, oops, that's support scan. If we do
Where's my for loop creator?
um like this, we say what? Say like user equals to who am I,
No,
and
I
then
don't
we
like.
echo
It's just a
user
decision that I'm making to not do that.
d
Okay. Let's go
my
back.
user, right? Same output I get when I do this. Basically, backticks in Bash supposed to interpret a normal command that you do on terminal there. So it saves that into a variable and then you can pull it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you look at this, I'd just say like system is being replaced by the backticks, which is really
Did I do
interesting.
it correctly somewhere? Okay.
So if I run this and then copy this,
No, but you don't
then
have to do
have it
this.
here,
Threads are
we have file
stupid.
equals to, and then we have our payload.
What is
We
dealing with
get
this?
this chunk here, but then if we do cmd equals id, we get data. So we are able to execute
Probably because I wrote bad code.
code through LFI using this trick, which is really cool. So I guess I can close all
Okay, so bash
this.
exists. Maybe I should have gone that far.
And should we go back to
And
the file I
really, this is
uploaded, or
Potomac, which is
okay, I'll just run my shell from here.
uh,
So the other thing also is the reason you'd want to do this is because the maximum URL length is
okay.
um,
Need brackets.
2000 and I think 48 characters, if I'm not mistaken. Maximum URL length browser. Yeah, so if this payload becomes, if you're trying to write like
Clang
a
now
PHP,
equals
maybe, reverse shell payload, it's gonna be too long and then it's not gonna
object
be interpreted as a URL.
right.
It's gonna fail and say the URL length is too
Okay.
long,
I
or
don't want this.
I don't know what that error message looks
Okay,
like, but anyway,
reduce.
yeah.
That's fine.
So that's why you want it to be as short as possible
Okay,
this way.
cool.
Um,
Okay. It compiles,
yeah,
accepts the reads, and
so we
reshapes it.
can proceed and get our shell here.
I
I'll just do shell,
Not reshape
and
array.
then come here, do this, and get a shell.
Oh.
So when I typed shell, it just copied
C
this to my
file.
clipboard and then executed that file. So we have a shell. If I go to the home directory, you can see there's a user Mike. If we go to his directory and try to read the user flag, we can't, right? So remember that we got the HT password file that had threads for a user who's Mike. So this might be his password. But you'll never find this in the real world, then again, or in any HackTheBox machine. So that's something to note. If we do su Mike, we are now Mike. The other thing that I like to do when I'm doing su is this dash, and this dash just means
Thank you for subscribing.
recreate the environment variables. So I can demonstrate this if I go to var.html and I do su Mike and then put in the password. We are still in var.html, right? But then if you do su.mike, put in the password, now you should be in Mike's home directory. So that's why I like to do that. Nothing big, but yeah. So now we could potentially read the user flag.
Is this right?
Awesome. So the next thing to always check is whether we have sudo permissions. So we don't. Okay. But if you do ID, you'll notice that this user is part of the LXD group. And this is good because users in this group are able to create and manage Linux containers. And how does this help us? Well, if this user is part of this group, then he should be able to create a Linux container, actually a privileged one. And then you can just like mount the root disk on top of the container. So I can just, let's go to Hacktricks. We do LXD, this one.
That doesn't matter. So if we just do splat args2, should be right. Too many arguments. Okay. Oh, because we splatted args2, we didn't splat
Okay.
Man.
Yeah, so we have it.
How does anyone program?
So you need to install distro builder, which is going to build the image, and yeah, pretty much. And then the part I was talking about is this. So first thing you're doing is you're trying to create a privileged container, and I guess a privileged container is one that can access the host. Actually, it's a container that has the same privileges as the host, if I'm not mistaken. If you do like privileged Docker container that have all of the root capabilities of a host machine, allowing the ability to access resources which are not accessible in ordinary containers. So the minute you're in a privileged container, it's almost as if you can easily access any file on the host. So after creating this privileged container, we want to mount the root disk in this directory, right? So by doing this, we're able to access any file that should have been like only accessed by root. And by this I mean like if we're mounting the host disk, that would mean we can access /root and get the root flag. So that's the whole point here. Yeah. So I guess you should do this if you haven't installed distro builder. You can run just this up to here, and then building the container is,
Did I
I
put
mean, the
this?
image is this,
Oh,
and
I put that
then
garbage.
you run this
Does that
on
have to be in the
the
middle?
machine that you're trying to attack. So I don't like doing this. So the way I do this normally,
Because it works enough.
because I see this a lot in like track me machines, what I like to do is I just open
Okay, I forgot that Clang is those balls.
config cfl HTTP.
True.
If you check, I have a function here that does everything here for me. So it's called LXC previous, and the first thing it does is just basically updating my IP
Okay, so this
here,
is a good trick. Whenever you're dealing with
um,
stupid
and
instability,
then it's
you
going to
should
create this
always
bash script
do a
that's
OS
basically
rename.
executing the commands that we have here.
Now am I
Where
going to
is it?
remember the syntax for this?
I
String
guess all the commands are
definition
from here, if
source.
I'm not mistaken,
Because rename is atomic, and then you
or
don't
we have
have
them here.
breakpoints.
I guess they're one and the same thing, if I'm not mistaken. So we have this import.
What's that?
There
Is
we
that our?
go.
Did we just try to
Then
CMAC in
init,
33
we have it
coins?
here,
Yo, where's my
and then
$2,500?
config, we have it here, and then start and exec.
No, it has to be
So
both.
pretty much.
Dash O. Good
Um,
point. Dash O
so that's
zero
how I
is
like to do
slow as
pivot.
balls.
So you can just, instead of like copying each command one by one,
Where's
then
your
running them,
GCC if Clang doesn't become
I
faster?
opt to do it this way because it's really common, trust me.
Why is
Um,
this so slow?
yeah, so I guess I'll run that and it's done. And so I'll just come to like 10 and paste whatever was on my clipboard because it already pushed this command to my clipboard and then run it. So right now what it's doing is grabbing, if we go to web.htb lxc, it's just grabbing this file and then running the commands, this one and everything here. So it already ran, and now we have seen that we're in the container that we created, which is called Privask. Yeah, and we're root inside the container. We aren't on the host, we're just inside the container. So remember, the root disk was mounted in, you know, slash mount slash root. So if you go to slash mount
What
slash
function
root
calls am I
and
doing?
run ls,
No,
you
it's
can see we
fast.
have
It's Clang
the
building that's
root
slow.
disk
Nothing else is
in
slow.
this directory.
Like
So we can
once it actually
access,
built, look, it zooms.
for example, we can go to home,
Then it has to build 2
go
minutes.
to mic, and then access mic's flag, yeah? So the same way, since we're root in this container, we could just go to root and
Is it possible that
get the root flag.
syntax is slow? No, because Clang
Simple,
would be faster.
easy,
Look, it's fast.
yeah.
Right? I thought it
So
was.
yeah, that's pretty much
It
it.
has to build them.
Um, I guess we are done with that. So we can come and answer the questions.
Mostly.
Which service is running on the target machine over UDP? That would be TFTP,
Can I
which
run up
is, again, I said it's the trivial
Yeah.
file transfer protocol. So the T stands for trivial, which means just a minimal version of FTP, really. So, what class of vulnerability is the web page that is hosted on port 80 vulnerable to? It would be a local file inclusion, LFI for short. So what is the default system folder that TFTP uses to store files? Oh, so that's the default folder. Makes sense. Okay, so I believe it was in var TFTP and then TFTP boot, if I'm not mistaken.
It doesn't seem slow. It just is slow because it's got to
No,
call
it
root every
was,
single
where
time.
was it? TFTP directory. Oh, it was in var lib. I did var TFTP. Okay, that should work. No, TFTP boot. Could have sworn I typed that. That's weird. Let me just copy this. Or actually,
Oops.
get rid of this. So I guess the only thing I was missing was
Okay. What?
preceding slash just at the front of TFTP boot. Okay, cool. So
Nothing.
which interesting file is located in the web server folder and can be used for lateral movement? That would be HT+WD,
Loading too many
which
things.
again,
Problem.
remember we couldn't access
Okay.
this from the web root just because we shouldn't be able to see the HT+WD file uh,
And what
right out of the
doesn't have the
box.
accesses, which is
So using the
weird.
LFI, we were now able to read that
Is
file.
it creating
Um,
process time?
so
Is
what
that
is
what
the
it is?
group that Mike is part of and can be
You
exploited
can run
for privilege
privacy
escalation?
settings.
That would be LXD, right? So when using an image to exploit a system via containers, we look for very small distribution. Our favorite for this task is named after mountains. That would be Alpine. Yeah, so we build an Alpine image. If we go back to Arctrix, or actually, if I just look at my script here, we go to where is it here? So you can see
Gets through all that.
it's an Alpine image, basically.
Except some of them segmentation.
So trying to make it as small as
Maybe it's
possible
segments.
is the idea there. What flag do we set to the container so that it has root privileges on the host system? Now, this is what I was talking about.
Something
So
common that
it
only
was
needs to
security dot privileged
let's test some.
privileged equals true, right? Yes, yes, yeah. Okay. So if the root file system is mounted at mount in the container, where can the root flag be found on the container after the host system is mounted? It would be found in mount root, and then submit the user flag and a root flag. So I guess for this, I'll just do. Actually, I have both of them, so that's cool. We'll
Utility
submit
privilege
this
range. I wish I had a newer Python that would tell me.
and submit this. And that's pretty much the machine.
Understand.
Awesome. Cool. So, guess I can close this. It was a good run.
What? Okay, well, this
Or
is
actually, we
protocol.
can actually try to since we had the
This is also a
PHP
fixed
server
thing.
running here,
Okay. What did
we
it
can try
do?
get code execution on my machine
Buffs? Create
um
first reduce?
instead.
Why
So
would
let's
the
see,
length of shape trackers be different from the other lengths?
8,000. Awesome. And do stuff equals to let's see wd. Get it. So we can build this chain here.
Okay. Buffs, for some
Copy
reason, is
this
shorter. So something's deleting a buff?
to there, and then replace this with dot and do ncmd equals id, and we are on my box. Awesome. Okay, so that was pretty much it. Um,
Oh no, those are just fake buffers. That's fine.
Also,
Which
like,
one's failing?
I wonder if
Oh, it's just this typo at the
because
end.
if you don't want the thing I was talking about where a parameter page would be, would include um instead of having the page parameter as the file,
Uh,
it would
that is
just
just
have the
fine.
name of the file and then the .php is just appended on top of it. So like if I do this, go
Okay. Is
back
it red
here.
for some reason?
What's the page? What is the IP again? This one, not
What
this
weird
one.
shit
I
do you
can just
do?
do. Actually,
Oh.
why am I not thinking? Let me just do localhost this, and then
Yeah, why
page
can't group for
equals,
reduce?
right? So if I try
Oh,
etc plus
yeah.
wd, it's not gonna include anything, right? Why? Because
Oh,
it's
actually,
trying to access etc plus wd dot php, as you can see
I
here,
just have to put it somewhere
failed
else.
opening
Let's
etc plus
just try
wd
both.
dot php.
Group.
So the filter change should still work since we are using PHP filter, right? So if we run this,
The only thing that can add to
um,
that is
copy this, and then have this here,
not clang
and send equals ID, and we still have it. So it would work in both scenarios where the
another place I had to group values,
parameter
right?
is being added
Select one.
.php
Okay, that's fine.
um, to it.
Done.
So I guess that's pretty much it.
Okay. Clang equals one, GPU
That
equals
was
one.
fun. So
Test ops.
what else? I'm excited about
Okay,
getting the
segmentation still
OnePlus
works.
Buds Pro 2 tomorrow. So let's have a look at this.
Something is probably accessing
These
the
buds are
Bluetooth
really
out.
cool.
Damn it.
Like actually, these buds are way better than the Apple AirPods Pro 2. To be honest, to be fair, the only difference between them, I think, the only key feature that
Pro
the
group
OnePlus Buds miss is
close.
the volume control. So like on the AirPods Pro 2, you can like control the volume by sliding on the what is this part called again? Yeah, so you can just um slide on it and control the volume that way. So these buds lack that, but then they're really good,
Moving out of bounds of
way better
GPU. What's
than
moving
the
out of scope? GPU
AirPods Pro 2.
CPU.
Actually, you can look at this article. Um,
It's going like
Buds
out of
Pro
scope or
2
into range.
versus AirPods Pro 2. The article by XDA developers.
Whatever.
Always
It's
a
pretty good.
good place to go to.
Okay. So what do we want to run?
Ah,
How slow is efficient net? Does that example still work? Remember that old
take a
example where we
bit.
could see, we could run it on the webcam and it was good? TinyGrad got away from doing practical things.
I am literally so excited to get this. You have no idea. Very, very excited. Um, that's interesting. I can see my dropped frames went from
Sweatshirt.
97 to
Oh, that's pretty good.
128.
Wow, this example still works.
Oh, all
Sick.
right. This page is taking too long. Why, bro?
Hairspray. Alright.
Okay, there we go.
See if I run it with GPU equals 1.
So,
It's faster?
yeah. Let's look at the core differences here.
Marginal.
So, one, they're
Marginal.
lighter. We start there. I mean, it is still
What are you getting a
an
coffee mug from?
advantage, yeah. You know,
Coffee
a
mug.
difference
Okay.
of
How about my remote?
2 point, is it
Remote control.
actually
Alright, cool.
3.5
See if we can
grams?
replicate that in C.
Um,
That will be our
this is the
proof.
charging case and this is the earbuds. So both are lighter than the Apple AirPods. Then the next thing is, so a slight difference here is, it's not really an advantage really, but the AirPods Pro 2 have like 30 hours of lifetime with the charging case. So that means like when you use them and then put them back to charging and then use them again, put them back to charging, you get 30 hours. With the OnePlus, you get 25 hours. Not bad. Um, and then here it wasn't specific. So let me tell you what happens here. So when you talk about 6 hours, yeah. So with the OnePlus, if you charge them for 10 minutes, you get, was it like 9 hours of use? That is, and although that is with the active noise cancellation off, and with the AirPods Pro 2, I think you charge them for 5 minutes and get, I guess, 3 hours of use with active noise cancellation off. So that is terrible. That is really, really bad. Also, a thing to note, well, guess what? the OnePlus earbuds are more water resistant, actually more water and dust resistant compared to the Apple AirPods Pro 2. Yeah, yes. So like I feel like you Apple people just put too much money to your products. No. Anyway, um, so I guess that's pretty much it. This is the battery life thing, yeah. So this statement is no, okay. It is true, but it depends. How long do you charge it to get like how many hours? It really depends. Um, so you can see here the OnePlus Buds Pro 2's defense. A 10-minute earbud charge so the case gets you 3 hours of playback. And I guess this is because you have the active noise cancellation on, and uh, the AirPods Pro 2 will only get you 2 hours. So I guess the the thing to look there for is just that they charge faster. In short, they really do charge faster. The other thing I like is I think the point that I've just seen here. So what point is this? Technicalities, yeah. So basically, the OnePlus Buds, um, they can work on any device. Why? Because they have an app called Hello Melody. Is it Hello or Hey? Yeah, it's Hey Melody that you can install on any device that you're on. So if you buy a OnePlus Buds and you're using an iPhone, you can still use them. If you buy a
All
OnePlus
right,
Bud
let's
and you're
go.
using
I didn't even
Samsung,
do
you
the
can
things
still
that I
use them.
wanted to do.
But with Apple,
1 minute in C? No, it shouldn't be
with
that
Apple, you
slow.
need an Apple
Let's see how long it's
device.
going to take. I
Period.
forgot. I
Like
wanted
there
actually that.
isn't,
Pi equals 1.
there's no
It's got to build
use
this
with an
multi-lane
Android,
kernel. See in a
or
second.
you
Building
you'll
kernels.
have to use an Apple device. So Apple is quote unquote stingy. Uh, that means like sort of selfish in their own,
Okay, so
you
that's how
know,
long it takes in C.
yeah,
And it would
in
be
that
great,
sense.
except for the fact that I think it's wrong.
So that's pretty
Is there
cool.
really a website?
Anyway, I'm done. I'm done being excited about tomorrow.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
right.
I'm literally so
It doesn't
excited.
become a website
And
now.
these pods are really cheap. They're like, let me check. These pods are like,
Okay, I mean, that's how slow it's going to be in C. It's actually going to be a bit faster because we're going to put it in one thing.
the why is Google so slow on
Okay.
Firefox running on my Kali
Oh my
compared
god,
to
we're going to have to write
Windows?
C. That sounds so painful. Have you ever written C? It's actually one of the worst things ever to write. Okay, first off, we got a unique
Oh,
names. We'll steal this from OpenCL. Again, we
C
got
is
to
cool.
genericize this behavior.
Stick a bit, stick a bit. Don't
Um,
understand why, but there we go. So they're just like what? They're just 179. Then on top of this, can do this quick math here.
use Rust. Oh, should we try it from Rust? You guys, I could write it in
Rust
C,
is
or I could
terrible.
take five
Don't
times
try it.
longer and write it in Rust. Is that what we
So
want
we
to do?
have this,
You guys
and
would
then you
love
can
that.
just
You guys would
do
love
the
to sit,
usage.
watch me struggle, and be bad at Rust. You
Yeah,
know.
29K, really cheap. Um,
Uh,
I'm being sarcastic, but I mean, doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt at all. Just by the fact that
I don't know where's the
they're
hairspray.
way better than
Fix
the
that
Apple
quick.
AirPods Pro.
I mean, to be
Ah,
fair, it
I'm
looks
at
like
peace.
hairspray.
Anyway, cool.
Water bomb.
So, cheers. That was
I'm
pretty
not a
much the
website.
session, and I guess I could show you what I'm watching here. It's just George Holtz ranting about C.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty much.
Wow, can you believe that example still works? Thank you to everyone who's kept the example still working. Because I know
This
I
guy
failed
is
it.
really
So,
smart. He is heck smart.
um,
So
let's create an example
cool.
called
Um,
compile efficient net.
yeah, so that was pretty much the session, and I guess I'll
If
sign off.
anyone can figure out why it's segfault sometime, I'd be interested too.
So Bye,
I'll
guys.
follow up.
Take care
All
and
right.
peace.